Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and yes, you might have thought I'd be making some kind of comment about this, so here we go. Sexist remarks attributed to FIA President Mohammed Ben Salami do not reflect his beliefs, motorsport's governing body has said. Ben Salami, 61, the first Arab to become FIA President when he replaced John Todt in 2021, was quoted on an archived version of his old website that he does not like women who think they are smarter than men. Oh dear, Benji. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, I've got some sad news for you. Women are smarter than men. Yes, ever since the days of Eve and Adam, when Eve turned round to Adam and said, "Here, do you want to see my pussy?" And it just went on from that moment to become, "Here, if you stick that in there, it'll make you feel really good." Yes. And from that moment on, the whole of mankind basically came to an end. Yes, if you think about it, the whole structure of our existence is based on 7 seconds of pleasure. 7 seconds. I know, it's mind-boggling, isn't it? Absolutely mind-boggling, but those are the facts. Yes. So yes, women are a lot smarter than men. They always have been. And as I've been a very strong supporter of women in motorsport, in other jobs, in lots of things, I just like to say that, I don't think you did a very good job there, Ben Salami. Yes. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, he should be sacked for those comments, should be sacked. Now, let's put this into focus. Basically, he said those comments over 20 years ago. Yes, 20 years ago, and they've just resurfaced now because someone obviously had a grudge against him. Now, one of the things I would like to say about Ben Salami is that after that sort of award ceremony with Christian Horner and Dominicali, where clearly Horner was very uncomfortable and he was looking across to Dominicali, and Dominicali was looking across to Horner and saying, "Yep, okay, let's move the crazy person on. Let's move him off the stage," because clearly he'd had one too many Chardonnays. And what he said was, it was just bizarre, absolutely bizarre, and not a good moment for Ben Salami, has to be said, the FIA president. But should he be sacked over comments that he made 20 years ago? It's a bit of a stretch, to be honest, isn't it? It's a bit of a stretch, I have to say. I mean, we could start cancelling everybody for what they said 20 years ago. If that was the case, I wouldn't still be on YouTube right now. No, I would not. So anyway, as a person who has in the past dabbled in sexist comments myself, only dabbled, purely for reasons of, I'm hoping one day that one of these feminists, yes, one of these feminists, you know, the ones with the dungarees on, you know, will come into my comments and say, "Oh, you're outrageous, absolutely outrageous. Somebody should put you up against a wall and shoot you," and anything like that. Because that will be the happiest day of my life. Yes, it will be. So far, it's not happened. No. So yeah, should he be cancelled over this? No, it was 20 years ago. The thing that's most surprising to me is that people are surprised by this. Don't forget, he is an Arab, and they have very different beliefs. And let's face it, they don't treat women very well anyway. Just ask anyone in Egypt, anyone who's travelled to Egypt, who's female, will know what I'm talking about and where I'm coming from. Yes. You know, it's a completely different culture. Now, they keep claiming that, oh, they're doing a lot more these days, and it's never going to happen. Once that is set in someone's culture, you can't suddenly turn it around that quickly. Okay, so they always regard women as the inferior sex, the inferior species that should be, you know, beholden to men. That's how they fought for hundreds of years, and you can't just suddenly change that around and say, yeah, okay, we're now going to be nice to women, because it's not going to happen. But in regards to whether he should be sacked, cancelled, I think it should just be blown under the carpet and forgotten about, to be honest, because it's a complete non-story in another month where there is no real F1 stories. So they thought they'd drag something out from the past to try and discredit Ben Salami and hopefully get him off the FIA. But personally, I think it's just a load of old nonsense. A load of old nonsense. So we move on to our next story. Yes, you knew it was coming, didn't you? Yes. WTF1. Yes, the gift that keeps on giving and the gift that keeps on disappearing down the drain. Because here is their latest Social Blade viewing, not their viewing figures, but their subscriber count. That's what I'm more interested in. And as you can see, yes, they're hemorrhaging more subscribers than the Titanic, to be honest. Yes, 10k, 10k, minus 10k. So the daily averages at the moment are they're losing 1.6k subscribers daily. In a week that amounts to about 11k. And over the last 30 days, they've lost 50k subscribers. As you can see at the top there, they started at 1.15 million. It was actually 1.18 million at about the time that Matt and Tommy left. So it's 1.5, as you can see, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2 now. Now, as I've said in the past, it takes a very long time for these statistics to filter through. And as I've also said, people really don't hit the unsubscribe button very often. No, they just don't do it. So, you know, these statistics, they're going down constantly, but to go from 1 million, even to get down to the million, is going to take weeks, maybe even months. But the most important thing to gain from this is that since they've left, they're not doing. Look at the monthly gain video views. I mean, look, May 22, September 22. So this is round about possibly, yeah, we've got November there. So that's still with Tommy. So in actual fact, the views were declining a little bit, still with Matt and Tommy. But that's inevitable because it was November, the season was over. So, you know, they were going to go downhill a little bit there anyway. So let's just move myself out of the way because you can't actually see me there. So here I am up here. And yes, so November was starting to drop off. But as I say, it was the end of the season, so it was going to happen anyway. But look at January now. That's I mean, they're still getting, well, 2 million views for December. November was 5 million views. 6 million views for September. 11 million for August, which of course would have been the height of the F1 season. So doing very well. But, you know, just look at the graphs and look at these statistics. And it's not good. They've actually gained some subscribers though. There, look at that. In January. No, that's December. No, that's December. So no, we haven't got the analytics for January yet. So yeah, that's not good. That's not good. So what is the problem at WTF1? Well, I know a lot of people weren't even, you know, that impressed with Matt and Tommy, to be honest. I've heard it said. So, you know, let me just make myself big again. Ooh! So, yeah, a lot of people weren't impressed with Matt and Tommy, but since the new team have taken over, they've been impressed even less. Now, what's the biggest problem? It's all very, very dry, the content. And the other problem is they are throwing content now at us. They're throwing as much shit towards a fan, hoping that something's going to stick at some point. And it's just way, way, way too much content. I mean, they released a video about the prices of Grand Prix races. All the information in there, according to the comments, was wrong anyway. But a day later, they then released the same video, only in a shorts format. And it was like a part 1 and a part 2. And everyone's going, you know, you just made this video and released it. Why are you doing it again? It's just ridiculous. And that's what they're doing. I mean, when Matt and Tommy were doing it, you had like a podcast once a week, and then you probably get 1 video a week on WTF1, maybe 2 a week. That was it. But just look at how many videos they've been chucking on all the platforms since the new team have taken over. It's ridiculous. And they're talking about absolutely nothing. And they're talking about absolutely nothing because, you know, they're just making up whatever they can to try and draw the people in. But if the people can't, you know, be enamoured with you, then it's pointless. It really is. It would be far better to go away and make one video a week and just go from there. And hopefully the audience will then build from there. But at the moment, they're just oversaturating the whole of WTF1 with lots and lots of videos about absolutely nothing. So what is the other problem with WTF1 at the moment? Well, as I say, the content is very, very dry. WTF1 was all about, an alternative sort of view of Formula One, and at times it was very bright and breezy, but I don't get any of this from any of the videos now. It's just like any other journalism channel that's out there at the moment, especially like the race, because they've taken them over anyway, and they just look like the same videos that are produced by the race. So I don't see why this is even a thing. Yes, I don't get it. I really don't. But yeah, so it's just very, very dry content, I have to say, and it just doesn't draw you in. It really doesn't. And some of I think they're doing a podcast tomorrow. That will probably be about the Huss launch. So we'll probably have a 2-hour podcast about a car that's going to look exactly the same as it did last year. Yes, white and red, and because it's not going to be any different, is it? It's a Huss, for cock's sake. So yeah, I don't have any problem with the presenters per se, although I've now got an issue with Syrian because he's just like Marmite. Sometimes I like him, sometimes I can't, and at the moment I don't like him at all. No, he's just not doing it. So I've gone off Syrian again, unfortunately, and you can just tell that the girls really don't seem to be that interested in it, because they're not turning up for all the podcasts, only like now and again, and especially it told me, especially at the weekend when they weren't on the Saturday podcast, it's like, no, we can't be bothered with this. It's the weekend, just leave it now. So it's down to Andre and Syrian to do the podcast with their wild predictions or whatever. But yeah, it's just no. I don't know what the solution is. It does feel like Top Gear when the main presenters left. Yes, I understand that, it does. But at the moment, I just can't see how it's going to improve. I would say the presenter choice, I don't think is the best. I'm not going to start slagging anyone off. I'm just saying the presenter choice, I don't think is the best. There is an enormous pool of people out there that could be doing the job far better, and I'm gonna drop some names now. I'm gonna drop some names to anybody who doesn't know. Tomo F1, go and check him out. He could be doing that very well. Also, Niran, check him out as well. They're both doing a channel at the moment called The Last Lap, which is a podcast. And if you look at the quality of that presentation, it's really, really good. They're in a proper studio. I mean, it might be one of their bedrooms, but it's done out to look like a proper studio. They've got proper studio microphones. You can hear them clearly, and what they say actually makes sense, and it doesn't make you want to fall asleep after 5 minutes. So I'm not being paid by Niran or Tomo F1. All I'm saying is I look at a lot of content, obviously, as a content creator, allegedly. I still don't call myself that, but allegedly. So I look at a lot of what other people are doing, and I have to say there's a huge pool of people out there that could have done the WTF1 job very well indeed, and I think the team they've got at the moment is not it. It's not it. No, it just seems to be very cheaply done, I'm afraid, and it's not doing it for me, and it's not doing it for a lot of you out there either. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think about Ben Salami's sexist comments, and what do you think can be done to improve WTF1, apart from shutting it down. No, that's not nice, because there's still people earning money as a job doing WTF1, so we shouldn't start talking about that. I will criticise them, obviously, but I always want to find ways of making it improve as well. So Give me your ideas, and also give me your comments about Tomo F1 and Niran, because they would have done a very good job of that, I have to say. But sadly, they may have been too expensive for WTF1, because they certainly seem to be doing it on the cheap, considering most of the presenters are doing it from their bedrooms. Yes, with the broken IKEA cabinets in the background. Great look, lads. Great look. We love it. Yes, we do. Anyway, thank you. That's all from the Hookster. I will catch you in the next video. You have been awesome as always. Good night.